Hello everyone, welcome to my next tutorial of the Laoss series part. In this tutorial we are going to discuss only how we can import geometry in the Laoss GUI, because in a previous video I have already shown how we can create geometry in the LibreCAD and then we can import, but in here we will be see each things geometry how we can import, and at the same way you can import your own create geometry through the LibreCAD. So one of the importing geometry process I will show you in this tutorial. So before we start up the tutorial, I want to introduce myself as I'm Sahil Verma, application engineer as a well-known company Impulse Technology. About the company and their features and their services we have already discussed in our previous video. Who has not seen it my previous video, please check out the playlist set first as well as Laoss series part. At the small parts of the PPT you can see it is the one of the process like we are going to import an already existing geometry into Laoss. Like in the first video have already shown how we can create geometry in the LibreCAD, then how we can import. But in here existing geometry we will be show how you can import, but not only the import that geometry, but you can create in here the subdomains and boundary conditions. So different processes are given, so you can check in here that process like start Laoss, then create a new projects, and the options are given in the Laoss GUI. So I will show you, and then open the geometry import dialog and selecting the import geometry tab. After that, when you load your files, then as here we are going to import that tutorials files for that geometry that supported .dsf from the Laoss example folder. Then you need to check your status, and after the satisfied all the status, then you can got the green check mark. After that you can provide in here the boundary conditions and subdomain. After the fulfill all of the conditions, you can import your geometry directly in the Laoss GUI. So now I'm going to show you. It is just the process that is given at the same one by one. You need to follow that steps and then you can import one of the geometry. Not only that single geometry, you can create your own type of geometry as well as you can import existing geometry. So now I'm going to open Laoss software. Click at the right side and run as administrator. It is the Laoss GUI. You can see in a previous video we have already discussed about their GUI parts, but at the short description that I want to give you, like you can see who is new viewer, like you can see new projects, load projects, import from zip. That means if you want to create new project, you can click on this tab. If you want to load your project directly from the Laoss examples, you can click on this tab. If you import from the zip files, you can import, and you can also export your projects. It is the tabs where you can import that your geometry and load projects. In here you can load your projects at the same tabs given. They will active automatically when you import one of the geometry like show geometry, run meshings, and show mesh and keep diagrams. In here you can check your inputs value. First we need to import in here the geometry. If you have created your own geometry like through the LibreCAD, so you can go with this load from files. You can add, like in the download tabs you can see we have created some of the geometry. Like if you click on this and open and apply and click on the OK, like you can see it is created by my own through the LibreCAD. So same type you can create any type of the geometry, but you need to check that status points. I will show after that selecting one of the geometry. In here you can see all the status are green check marks, so this geometry are ready to use. You can see the tab are active in here. If you want to provide boundary conditions, actions, points, so you can use. You can deselect this and again click on this and import geometry tabs and load from files. Click on this, and in here you can import one of the geometry that already exists in the last example parts, because I'm follow the tutorials. So considering that example parts, softwares like Fluxim, Laoss, and in here you can see that examples and geometry. You can see the different geometry are available in here. You can click on this GI tutorials.dsf and click on this, apply and OK. You can see in here the status only lines have the green check marks, intersecting lines have the green check marks, duplicate lines have the green check mark. That means it is correct. But you can see ready for defining subdomains and meshing successful, they are showing the incorrect. To use this geometry for your project parts, you need to enable all the green check marks. So you can check one by one through that action points, boundary conditions. After the boundary conditions, tab subdomain will automatically active. At the downside, you can see can't complete polygon at point. So it is a issue one of that faces your geometry. So you need to correct that issue. You can check in here one by one. If you zoom like this and you can think that it lines have the extra mark, so you can use that cut intersecting lines. So you can correct with this, click on the cut intersecting lines. That options not always work, so you can move again with this point tabs and you can see zoom to current point pairs, merge selected point pairs. So you can see in here the can't complete the polygon at that point. So issue occur in here and you can see at the bottom side also. Click on this and through the mouse you can increase it like this point and click on the merge selected points. Again you can move with this. You can also merge selected point pairs like this and merge selected point pairs. If you click on this, in here you can see could not find point collector. So in here not any collector points are present. If you click on this, check status after the merge selected point pairs, you can see at the bottom side issue have disappeared. So that type of process you can apply. Zoom to current point pairs and merge selected point pairs. At the bottom side, list of points closest to lines and merge selected point line pairs. First you need to zoom and then you can click on the merge selected point line pairs. If you want to merge number of the point clusters, so you can move like this and then you can use. So that type of process you can apply for the check status. After the check status, you can move toward the boundary conditions. At the bottom side you can see create boundary conditions. So now one by one you need to create boundary conditions, but before the click on this you can see no item selected. Please select item before creating a boundary condition. So first you need to select like this, click on the left vertical line and then click create boundary conditions. Now you can give in here the name each first and then click on the OK. So now you can see one of the boundary condition I have created in here. Select again that right line and then click on the each second. So each first and each seconds, you one by one you can see. So these are the two boundary conditions we have taken in here. You can create like this boundary conditions. At the same process you can apply. Now you can see subdomain. In this geometry we need to create subdomains like P1, P2 and P3. Add subdomains and also area to subdomains. First you need to select that lines where you create subdomain. Click on this and hold the shift button and then click on this line. It is the second rectangle from the left and then now choose to third rectangle from the right like this. Hold the shift button and click one by one. Now you can click add subdomain P1. After that the subdomains, still the subdomain are empty. So now you need to add in here the area. Click on that add area to subdomains and move towards this parts and this. Now like P1 subdomains have created in here. Now we are going to create in here the P2 subdomains. Choose that line from the leftmost and then choose the center rectangles like this and click on the add subdomains. I give in here that new name P2. OK and then add area to subdomain like this. Have completed P1 and P2. By default you can see. Same process you can apply to add the P3 subdomain. Choose that rightmost rectangles like this and then click on this and add subdomains. Give the name P3 and click on the OK button. Add area like this. So geometry have completed in here. Now this geometry it is ready to use. Like you can see the tab have enabled. Create new project using this geometry. Give the name in here the tutorial 2-3 and click on the OK. Now you can see that geometry have uploaded in here. At the same time you can create in here your own geometry. In the previous video we have already discussed about this type of geometry how we can create. In here it is one of the process how you can import your own geometry like dip hearts p1, p2 and p3. Now you can use that models electrode for the p1 p2 top and bottom, p2 top and p2 bottom, p3 top and p3 bottom. Boundary conditions for the top and bottoms is first and is second. As my previous video, you can provide in here that your value fit optimizations moves toward the servers, and then you can click on the run button. So it is a process how you can create your own geometry using this import geometry tabs, and you can use this point boundary conditions and subdomains one by one, and then you can create this type of geometry. So now I am going to end here my tutorial. If you have any query related to this, please ask in the comment box, and my email are also given in the description box as well as at the end of the video. And if you want to book our demo, you can visit impulsetechnology.in, and who has not seen it my previous video, please check out the playlist. Thank you very much.